Hi, I'm Tally Knight, the founder of RetreatWise. Thank you for taking a few minutes to learn more about our grief therapy retreat in Kananaskis, Canada in June 2026. So this retreat has been designed very intentionally. It's not a conference, it's not a large-scale training event. It isn't just about getting the CPD hours. It's an immersive, small group learning experience for therapists, counselors, and grief practitioners. So grief work asks a great deal of you, clinically, emotionally, and personally. So that kind of work deserves space, it deserves depth, and it deserves time. So that's why we've chosen to host this retreat in the Canadian Rockies at the Pomeroy Kananaskis Mountain Lodge. The setting matters. The mountains slow you down, the forest creates reflection, the landscape supports the emotional and intellectual depth that the work that you'll be doing together requires. Over the next few minutes, I'll walk you through what's included, how the days are structured, and what you can expect from learning with Dr. Robert Neimeyer and Dr. Darcy Harris in this setting. Let me take you through the details. We'll be gathering at the beautiful Pomeroy Kananaskis Mountain Lodge in Alberta, Canada. This is a mountain retreat space surrounded by forests, trails, and open skies. It's intentionally chosen to support reflection and integration. Your retreat includes 3 nights accommodation at the lodge. Each full day includes immersive grief therapy workshops and guided self-practice sessions with Dr. Robert Neimeyer and Dr. Darcy Harris. All meals are included, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for each full day, plus a welcome dinner on Thursday evening and a farewell breakfast on Sunday. There will also be a curated, low-impact outdoor group experience, such as a reflective forest walk or lakeside grounding practice. This isn't about performance, it's about integration, about allowing the learning to settle. You'll have scheduled coffee and tea breaks, access to our retreat app, a special welcome gift, and retreat materials, as well as on-site support from the RetreatWise team throughout your stay. Most importantly, you'll have time. Time to think, time to absorb, time to step outside the constant pace of clinical life. I'd now like you to hear directly from Robert Neimeyer and the focus of the workshops and what we'll be exploring together.
How do we work and walk alongside others who are experiencing traumatic loss for someone very important to them, where the circumstances of the dying seem to overshadow even their own grief? How do we help people, in some sense, reaffirm a secure bond, even with those who have died, a continuing bond that can extend beyond the circumstances of their dying to the circumstances of our own changed lives in its aftermath, while also acknowledging and addressing the sometimes unfinished business of those complicated interwoven lives? How do we find a way to relearn ourselves in a world that has changed profoundly in their absence? These are the sorts of questions that my colleague, Dr. Darcy Harris, and I hope to engage with you for a period of 4 days of rich learning at levels both professional and personal from June 18th through 21st of this year in the gorgeous setting of Kananaskis, Alberta, Canada, nestled in the majestic Canadian Rockies, offering a perfect context to come to know one another closely across a period of time of intensive inner work as well as professional work in the context of bereavement support and grief therapy, while also prioritizing self-renewal in a field that demands that. Both Darcy and I hope you'll join us for this event and that we'll have an opportunity to say hello in person in June of this year. Take care.
Robert's work has shaped the field of meaning reconstruction in grief therapy for decades. Learning from him in a small immersive setting offers a rare opportunity for dialogue, for depth, and clinical application. Now, here is Dr. Darcy Harris sharing more about the relational and clinical dimensions of the program.
Hi, everybody. I am so excited to welcome you to the grief retreat that we're holding in June in the Canadian Rockies this summer. I wanted to just explore a few things that we plan to cover that might be useful to you as practitioners, but also as individuals who may also be grieving as well. We want to explore current understandings about how to work with people who are grieving and what that might look like. How do you support clients through difficult grief and grief that's really heavy and overwhelming for people? We also wish to explore using compassion and compassion-based approaches that might be useful in working with grieving individuals to help them come to a place of feeling more whole, even in the midst of a very painful time. And finally, we also look at how to use our bodies to explore grief. Grief is experienced often in our bodies, and how can we use our knowledge and awareness of our bodies and movement to help us to facilitate grief and the helpful processing of that grief experience for our clients through also how we've worked with ourselves and through this time. So as a grief retreat, we come together, we share the experiences of grieving, we share the experiences of what life is like for each of us, and then our goals, and also how is the best way for us as individuals who want to support grieving people to do the grief work in our own lives in ways that sustain and offer sustenance for those who are also going through a very difficult and painful time of grief in their lives. We hope you'll join us. This is going to be a very special time, an intimate time for us to share together, to come together to explore how to best support people who are grieving and to honor our own grief as well. Thank you so much.
Darcy brings both academic expertise and profound clinical wisdom to this space, creating a learning experience that is both grounded and transformative. For those of you who require continuing professional development credits, this retreat has been formally accredited. The Portland Institute for Loss and Transition is approved by the American Psychological Association to sponsor continuing education for psychologists. Portland Institute for Loss and Transition is also an approved provider through the Association of Social Work Boards approved continuing education program. Participants can earn 18 CEU or CPD contact hours over the 4-day retreat. If you wish to receive CEU credits, you'll simply select the CEU add-on at checkout when registering. Certificates are issued post-event upon confirmation of attendance. For those requesting ACE credits, you'll be asked to provide your license number during registration. The instructional level is intermediate. So this program is designed for clinicians who have some prior exposure to grief theory or clinical practice, while remaining accessible to those newer to specialized grief work. The target audience includes psychologists, social workers, counselors, art and expressive arts therapists, pastoral care personnel, healthcare professionals, and bereavement volunteers. Full attendance is required in order to qualify for CEU credits, and sign-in and sign-out procedures will be followed in line with accreditation requirements. The CEU add-on fee is £120, approximately $150. For many clinicians, this means the retreat supports both professional renewal and formal development requirements. Now I'm going to walk you through how our time together will unfold. On Thursday, the 18th of June, arrival begins at 2 p.m. You'll check in, settle into your room, you can explore the surroundings or simply just rest. At 3 p.m., we'll begin gently with introductions and Module 1. This opening session sets the tone for the retreat. There's personal restorative time before dinner, and at 7:30 we gather for a group dinner. The first evening is about arriving, connecting, and beginning to build the container for the days ahead. On Friday, we begin with an optional gentle movement, yoga or mindful breathing at 8 a.m. And this is about grounding and regulation before the day's learning. After breakfast, we move into Module 2 at 10 a.m. Following lunch, Module 3 continues to build the work. Late afternoon offers optional nature-based creative or memorial activities or simply personal restorative time. This is your retreat. You can opt in or out of any of the activities. Dinner is shared at 7:30 on Friday night, and later in the evening, it's free and easy. Fireside chats if you require, quiet rest, or perhaps a relaxed games night. Grief work includes the full human spectrum, including moments of lightness and connection. So we always offer a games night on our first full day together for people to share laughs and fun together. However, as I said before, this is all optional. Saturday follows a similar rhythm. Gentle movement in the morning, breakfast, and module 4. After lunch, module 5 deepens the material further. By this stage, the group energy often shifts. There's greater trust, there's shared language, a sense of depth. So late afternoon is intentionally spacious, time to walk, journal, reflect, or simply sit with the mountains. Dinner that evening often feels quietly connected and reflective, and optional activities after dinner. Energies can be quite low on the last night, or maybe people want to explore their newly made connections and stay up and chat or sit outside by the fire, whatever you choose. On Sunday, we gather for breakfast at 9 a.m. At 10 a.m., we hold our farewell workshop, which is module 6. So this closing session focuses on consolidation and integration, supporting you in carrying the work forward into your clinical practice and also your life. Departures begin at 1:30. We don't say goodbye, we say until we meet again. So that's the structure of our time together. But beyond the modules and the schedules, this retreat is really about stepping back and asking yourself how you want to practice grief therapy, or maybe just reflecting on how to process your own grief. It's about creating space to think more deeply about meaning, loss, identity, and reconstruction. It's about learning in community, not just intellectually, but relationally. It's about returning home not only with new ideas and interventions, but with renewed clarity and steadiness in your role as a therapist. This retreat will be intentionally small. That allows for meaningful dialogue with Robert and Darcy, space for personal reflection and genuine connection within the group. And these groups always end up being deeply connected. If you feel that this is the right time to deepen your grief work in this way, we would love to welcome you. If you have any questions at all, you can email us at info@eventwiseni.com. My name is Tally. You can email me directly. And if you're ready to join us in Kananaskis in June 2026, we would be honored to hold this space with you. All the details are on our website. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about it, and I hope to see you there.